Welcome to QFirst webinars. My name is Rohan Massey from QFirst, one of the co-founders of QFirst. So what is QFirst? QFirst is an on-demand mentorship platform for all your mentorship needs. Our mission, we basically have kept our mission is to bridge the gap in mentorship, making mentorship accessible and viable to as many as individuals possible. We basically have a community of mentors, carefully curated mentors or leaders or experts, however you call them, on our platform, and individuals who seek mentorship from any domain or any field can access our platform and choose from the very list of quality mentors or leaders. And it's more of a safe space where you can talk privately to your mentors. It's a one-on-one safe space interaction, and the mentor will be able to guide you throughout your journey. So for today's webinar topic is the secret sauce to succeed at workplace, and we have two amazing people from the Unicorn people, Miss Rashi Goyal and Vandana Teji. Hi, welcome all. Welcome both of you.
Thanks, Rohan.
Nice to meet you. I think I'll just move on the mic to you guys, and you can take it forward.
Sure, great. Thank you so much, Rohan. Thanks for the introduction. Thank you to everyone who's joined in. Thanks for giving your time on a Sunday evening and trying to learn with us. We at the Unicorn people are working towards bridging this gap between a job seeker and the industry, trying to bring the best available job opportunities to you and also helping you groom. Vandana and myself, we both are the co-founders of the Unicorn people. We both are empaneled with QFirst and would like to obviously help out and mentor everyone out there. So a little bit about myself. My name is Rashi Goyal and I am an HR professional. I completed my MBA in HR and have subsequently been working in the field. I have experience across talent management, learning and development, performance management, and diversity and inclusion. The aim that we have, that I have as a person, is to mentor professionals to go ahead in their career and succeed. Over to you, Vandana.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Rashi. Thank you, Rohan. It's an amazing pleasure being here with you all, guys. And I would again like to thank you for, giving your Sunday. And I would make sure that the entire idea behind me and Rashi putting this presentation is to make sure that this is time well invested. Okay. So I am Vandana Teji. I'm a strategic human resource professional with around 12 years of industry experience. I specialize in HR transformational projects, and I am also a prevention of sexual harassment at workplace consultant or a resource person for Government of India. I work very, very closely with the government on several projects. I also work with the academia, that is the universities and the colleges, as well as these professionals. I'm also a registered mentor with QFirst. So let's kickstart, Rashi.
Sure, great. So first of all, we kept the entire, the webinar is called The Secret Sauce to Succeed at Workplace. And let's just get to know in the next 40-45 minutes, what are the various ingredients that you will be, introduced to. So quickly going on, we will be explaining you what the new normal is, to very briefly touch upon the fact that the last 3 months have been drastically different from what we have experienced so far. There's nothing that we had seen, nothing like this that we had seen earlier. January 2020 seems far apart, and despite the fact that we are just in July 2020. So we'll talk about a little bit on that. We'll talk about a little bit on the future, what are the expectations that we have from the industry. We'll also be talking about what researchers are talking about, what industry influencers, what industry leaders are talking about, what are the skills and mindsets that they're looking for in a prospective candidate, in their employees in the current scenario, or anyone who's working out there in this current situation. So we'll be talking about the various skills and the mindset requirements for you as an individual. Post that, we'll also be sharing a little bit from our personal stories in terms of how you should move ahead in the future, and what is it and how is it that you can safeguard yourself in this volatile and uncertain times today. So those will be a few ingredients that we'll be sharing with all of you, and hopefully that will be the secret sauce for you to success. Quickly before we start, Vandana, I would request all of you out there to put it in the chat box quickly as to what are the number of years of experience that you have, so that we can accordingly decide on the pace of the entire webinar that we are going to conduct. So if you could just put in the number of years of experience you have in the chat box quickly, and Vandana, we should go ahead with the first ingredient of the sauce.
Yes, I'm just waiting for, okay, so we have got
Great.
fairly experienced people from with around 8 to 7 years of experience. Thank you for sharing that with us. I would request others to also put in their number of years of experience.
Great. We have 8, we have 7, we have 6. It's perfectly fine. You can just share across the number of years of experience. Give us a little glimpse of how we go ahead and conduct this webinar in the most effective manner for you.
See, the idea is, guys, to keep it as conversational as possible, because when it comes to start talking to professionals, although the methodology that we are using is through a webinar, but we will keep it as conversational so that we are able to help you with the real scenarios. What exactly are you guys facing?
Great. We have a few answers, Vandana. Also, while everyone's typing in the number of years, also if you could just quickly write down what are your expectations from the webinar. So again, that will really help Vandana and me structure the conversation better. So just maybe a line or a word of what is it that you're expecting from us. And Rohan, if we have any answers coming on Facebook, maybe you could help us with those as well.
Yeah. I'm having a tab on Facebook as well.
Sure.
Sure. Guys, please do let us know what is your expectations. Help us deliver better.
And this is the new normal. I don't think we're meeting in a classroom anytime sooner now.
Oh, great.
We have someone with 20 years of experience. Great. We have
Awesome.
quite a range in terms of experience. Hopefully, we'll be able to help each one of you out there.
I guess this itself shows the scenario, which Corona has brought us into. I mean, like COVID-19 has probably made deal with subordinates and seniors. Thank you, Suraj, for coming up with that point. Very, very important. So yes, I was saying that this itself gives us a complete picture that, career is something which was people after, 4 to 5 years of experience would have said that now my career is stable. That was the thought process that people had. But now, given the COVID-19 situation, everything is so changing so dynamically, so quickly, that people with, irrespective of how many years of experience, doesn't matter. You have to be on your tip and toes. Okay, guys, in the interest of time, Rashi, let's move to the next slide.
Sure. So we quickly have a glimpse of this, Vandana.
Yeah. So, guys, we are sharing few current market scenarios with you, what exactly is the job market telling you. And here are few of these screenshots. We have tried to collate the information what has been happening in the last 3 months. So situation, this is hiring activity declines over 60% for second straight month survey. That's the reality of today's market. And the closest that we actually came to was way back in 2008 and 2009. That's when the bubble burst happened, and that's when I actually graduated. So that's my first hand experience of dealing with crisis. However, things are pretty different right now.
So I think maybe back then, Vandana, when you were dealing, obviously it was nothing close to what we are seeing today with regard to the COVID-19 situation and the pandemic currently. But that time was also a pretty harsh time, if I would remember, for you guys who were just graduating.
Oh, yes. And my first job was wherein I was hired by an investment banking company. And my job was to work in the termination team. And I was team terminator.
So guys, this is just a few clips that we wanted to share with you. And before we go ahead, we would like to hear from you. Have you heard of anything other than this in the last 3 months, a news which would not corroborate with what we have just shown you on the screen? If you could maybe share some instances around that.
Guys, you can feel free yourself to unmute also and talk if you have something to share. We would love to listen. Waiting for you to take the cue. I know it is very difficult.
It's a
Just
Sunday
like
evening. I'm guessing that there's a lot of laziness which has come in already. But let's have our evening tea time and quickly write something in the chat box with regard to, have you heard of any news which might talk about hiring, any industry that you would have heard is hiring, any company?
what is
Maybe
happening
just
in your industry, if you can talk,
yes,
that also is going to add
great.
value to the session. Okay, so nobody is in the mood of talking. So guys, we have tried to keep the presentation
We have
as
someone write something, Vandana. We just
okay,
had
good.
read that Byju's is going to hire extensively in the near future. Great, Arvind. Great.
Yes,
Good
yes.
to know that.
EdTech is one area wherein people are hiring. Thank you so much. Arvind, what's happening in your industry? Are you from Byju's or?
A similar industry, maybe. I think
Okay.
while no one is in the mood of writing a lot. Oh, great. Arvind is a final
Final.
year MBA student. So he
Great.
must have been looking out on what's happening in the market more closely. Great, Arvind. Good to know. Any parallels with 2008 recession, and in hindsight, what is it about? Okay, great, Matthew. We will cover that. I'm sure Vandana has a lot to share on that.
Yes, indeed, indeed.
Great.
So to give you an overview of what happened in 2008, guys, you have to understand that the kind of crisis when the crisis began, you know, we did a lot of sessions at the beginning of the crisis wherein we ourselves were actually correlating it to 2008. However, I don't think anybody living has gone through this crisis of complete lockdown. We have heard about emergencies wherein, you know, our country was shut down for few weeks or 15 20 days maximum. However, the situation that we are right now wherein we have already lost 3 to 4 months of productivity, so it's one of a kind. And believe me, anybody who's telling you that they know how to deal with the crisis, you know what to take. They really don't know. Nobody knows about it. So whatever we have tried our level best, we have referred to the recent studies which have been published by LinkedIn, Mercer, and Gartner. They are the three studies who we have referred before we actually created this presentation. And you might be thinking why we have actually created this around food. That is again, we wanted to make you understand that career and life is intricate. And probably this will also give you an understanding is that your life and career is not separable. It cannot be separated or compartmentalized anymore. Yeah, and we might have seen those videos wherein an IS officer is taking calls with her baby, or she's actually cutting down vegetables while she's taking calls with her company. But that's the new normal. So, and the focus is here, wherein we will actually give you which roles can be performed remotely, and which industries are functioning, and which organizations are still hiring. Yes, while there is a lot of news around, companies, terminating employees, reducing, downsizing, not going ahead and releasing the offer letters. However, there are also scenarios wherein, few companies are hiring. Right, Rashi?
Yes, current. So while we also did a research on the various companies which were laying off and which were, a lot of bad news in the market, there is always a little good news, and there's always a reason of that. I think we have been knowing it about since Charles Darwin came up with the theory of the survival of the best. It's all about looking at the opportunities that are available and looking at the brighter side of things. So here are just a few screenshots. Hiring definitely started in the last 1 month. The first month, that is the month of April, everyone was in a state of chaos. Everyone was still trying to figure out how to conduct interviews, how to just manage their business, how to sustain, because all the annual goals which organizations had come up with were no longer relevant. The plans which got finalized on 15th of March were not even relevant by the 30th of March because the country has gone into a complete lockdown. and that's when the first 1 month saw a decline in the hiring phase. However, the moment we touched June, when we had already been 2 months into lockdown and we had got fairly accustomed to the new ways of working, hiring has begun, and it has begun very well in the technology sector, particularly in the edtech sector. There are a lot of jobs which are there, which are being shifted remotely. Companies have started looking at various roles which can be done remotely, and that is where the hiring is starting. Companies have now started to facilitate letting their employees create an office at home itself. So that are the sort of changes that we are seeing in the current scenario, and that is why all this news where we see IBM has 500 roles, Amazon is going to hire 20,000 people, EdTech is hiring humongously. Then there are a lot of spike in the workings of companies like Grofers, Big Basket, Dunzo, all these which have helped the lockdown sustain, like the people sustain during the lockdown. So that is on the market scenario. We would like to, let you guys have those questions right here, and we can let you know. So we have someone saying, I know the mindset of the company like Asian Paint, who has recently given a hike to employees in this scenario. There are various different stories out there. Definitely Asian Paint was someone who has gone up with a hike, whereas other companies have not given hikes, or have maybe also delayed any promotions or any increments that would have been given out in a regular scenario. But that again depends on the sort of business that do and the impact it has caused to the business.
And it reflects on one more thing, is this, that what exactly is the financial principle as an organization that you follow. Asian Paints is one of those organizations who have been there since a very, very long time, and they are of those mindset wherein they believe in saving some operational expenses for the crisis. And this exactly talks about how crisis management works. And unfortunately, this thing was missing. When you have business contingency plans, what happens is that in every business contingency plan, it is told to the organization to understand that there can be a scenario of crisis. This is not the first time when crisis has come in. Maybe the extent of crisis is big. However, crisis comes every 5 to 6 years. Okay. So all consultants have been advising their organizations to keep a pool of money which is ready and available to support them during this time. And I believe Asian Paints was following the right principles, and hence they are in a better place.
Great. So like just now we talked about how organizations navigated through this entire 3 months. Let's just talk about how you as an individual will be navigating in the future. So majorly we will be covering four skills and mindsets. Vandana, if you could just quickly give us a brief on what we'll be discussing through the next 20 odd minutes.
Yes, definitely, Rashi. So guys, the entire focus, as we told, we might have given you an understanding of what exactly are the new flavors in the market. Okay. And and we have actually created this list, which is, I would say, a pretty concise list, so that, we could cover all of them during the time limit which was allotted to us. So right now, the session will focus majorly on agility and adaptability, very, very important skill, and which is required to sustain in in this situation. And emotional resilience. Yes, I think almost every person right now is going through a state of emotional crisis. There are times I actually myself tell Rashi, like, Rashi, we are working so hard day and night, okay, to make sure that my company, moves ahead, and we are finally able to make that break even, However, do we have a future? Do you see a future? I start questioning. Yes, we all do, right? Moving ahead, we also have relationship management. That's where relationship management comes into picture. And Rashi tells me, no, Vandana, this is a scenario wherein I know it is something which is not very, has been there forever. But yes, I'm sure there will be somebody in your family who might be helping you through this, sail through this difficult time. And yes, the new normal is all about digital tools. So, I know my parents would have been shying away from using Zoom and all, but like 2 days back, I did celebrate my birthday on Zoom with my
I
parents
also
sitting.
received a lot of wedding invitations to be telecasted to Zoom. So that's the new normal. I think now everything is going digital, and that's when we were looking at the hiring trends as well. If you look at all the companies which are hiring, they are mostly companies which have been able to adapt themselves on a digital platform, or were earlier already on a digital platform, and hence they saw a boom, and hence the
Yes.
hiring also gets impacted. And that's, I think, the main understanding that we as an individual should develop is the fact that we should look at how the market is, and work these four skills for ourselves and adapt, be agile, be emotionally resilient, and adapt to the market. I'll quickly go on and talk about how we understand the market, be agile and be adaptable. Vandana and me call it being an aloo. It has both the A's as well in it, agility and adaptability. Basically, be an aloo. Now, potato is something which is found abundantly across, is something which you can be served in a 5-star as well as at a roadside dhaba, is something which is globally available, and 12 all the 12 months in a year. So and the fact that it almost goes with every vegetable out there, that's how adaptable an aloo is. The idea is that the market is changing very quickly. Like I said, a business plan which was frozen and finalized on the 15th of March was no longer relevant on the 30th of March. Whereas earlier, as an organization, we were making 5 or 10-year plans. We still do have that. No one is negating those plans. However, the fact remains that now we need to have plans not just annually, but quarterly and maybe even monthly. And there are companies who are now working on a daily plan, that they have daily sales figures to complete, and they are working on a daily change management sort of a strategy. That is what agility is all about. When COVID-19 hit us in December, when the news started coming that COVID-19 is going to be a very big epidemic, we did not take it seriously. By February, I think most of the countries had not taken any measure around it. March end is when the realization hit us, and that's when it became a problematic situation. So were we good enough to suddenly switch? Why companies took that 1 month, 2 month time to adjust? Because they were not agile enough. They had not foreseen certain things. They had not prepared themselves. There was no contingency plan. We have been talking about a term called VUCA. That's volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So we've been talking about this term VUCA for the past almost 8 to 10 years. This is a term which has existed for the last decade. However, I think the real sense of this term comes today, because now we are seeing everything. We are seeing the volatile market. We are seeing the uncertainty in the market. The ambiguity of what might happen is there. And obviously, the situation is too complex to understand. There is not one fit all solution sort of a thing which I can maybe predict for a certain company or a certain industry. The adaptability bit of it is, again, I link it to the digital world, and I will link it to a classic example of adaptability is the Kodak industry, the Kodak Industries. Kodak, as you know, the moment I say Kodak, you will think of that black reel which used to have the camera, which used to click the moment you did it. And I remember my mother telling me how judiciously I had to use that one Kodak reel, because we didn't have digital cameras back then. The surprising part to know is that nowadays, in the current generation, Kodak is not a word which is known to most of the people. And that is because it was not an industry, it was not a company which could adapt quickly. The most surprising part about it is that Kodak is the company which first invented the digital cameras, and they were the ones who never captured the market, because they could not adapt to the new requirements of the market, and they themselves obsolete put their own digital camera production on hold and continue to go with the real cameras. That's the problem that we have today also as an individual. We have certain skill sets with us, we have certain traits with us, but we kept them inside us, and we are like, no, this is not what is going to be. So I would say be agile, try and develop all those skills, see how they work in different situations, and be adaptable, be an aloo. I think that's on agility and adaptability. Vanna, would you like to add anything on that? And I think I've explained the concept of aloo that we thought of pretty clearly.
So guys, yes, all good team Alu. We all must become Alus now. Why we just one point that I wanted to add to what Rashi was saying. You know, that when it comes to us, because considering the people, everybody has more than around 4 or 5 years of experience, barring one person who is actually currently doing MBA. The concept of goal setting was not very prevalent when we were, or studying. Okay, so everybody told one goal, one goal, one goal, one goal. However, the entire theory behind one goal has changed. It is no more one goal. If you see, the experts will tell you that goal setting has to be like a contingency plan. Agar ek nahi chala to dusra nahi chala to, like, you have something to hold on to, not just one skill. And maybe I know, for me, I am like 10 to 12 years of experience in the organization, in the industry. But believe me, if somebody asked me to sit down and tell what else about apart from HR, it's a difficult question. I totally get it. But yes, the need of the hour is to be an Alu and identify what else can you do. Now,
Great.
coming back to, as Rashi said, while we are going through this all turmoil situation, we have to display emotional resilience. Like exactly like that wheat dough, okay, which is which is visible over here. It is going through extreme pressure, but it is taking up that form, and it will then be cooked into a delicious pizza. So while I know this current situation requires you to be, I would say, display explicable tensile strength. Okay. Right now, we might not be in the same boat, but we are going through the same bloody storm. I know. Please, and it is very, very important that we understand this. It is nothing like, as somebody actually mentioned, how do I manage a, relationship between my peers and my team as in my manager? Again, very, very important. Please understand, irrespective what exactly is your designation in the organization, or what exactly is the level at which you are working, what you have to first understand that you are a human being, and just like you, your manager or your team member, both are going through a difficult time. So rather than losing and questioning each other's actions, it is time to show some emotional intelligence and accept it, support the person. There are, as Rashi says, that the need of the hour is agility. And when you run fast, the chances of making mistakes increases, right, guys? If your chances of making mistake is increasing, but then at the same time, your emotional compatibility will tell you that the acceptance of those mistakes has also increased. You might have seen or heard your managers and supervisor telling to you that go take that risk, because we need somebody to take that risk of innovation. Okay, there can be a mistake, no worries. There can be a mistake, no worries. We will come back and we'll start again. That's the understanding, and that is what will take us, ahead in our career. As a team member, it is very, very important, or as a manager, whatever is the situation, we have to understand, we have to accept that it is, the scenario has changed. Okay, it is no more like working from home. It is working from home, working for home. Both of them have to coexist now, because there is no maid who is coming to home. So yes, in a scenario, your team member or your manager is a little late for a team meeting, please understand. Or if there is a kid running around the house, the world has understood, because right now, we as professionals are invading our own home space. Somebody said a very, very beautiful story the other day, that while the BBC thing was pretty famous, my grandmother actually spoke to my manager and told my manager that, I am sorry, we are a little loud, but you have to adjust since you are taking up the space. So that's the scenario, and we need emotional resilience to function well. I think I have covered a lot, both me and Rashi, 2 points. I would now request everybody to put in their questions in the chat box if you have any.
And also their experience from work, I think emotional resilience definitely hits a lot of people, because like you said, the working from home, working for home concept has sort of overlapped. Very recently, yesterday or 2 days back, I read somewhere now it's not even working from home; it's living at work.
Yes, yes.
Come my workstation and I'm just living at work. So that are the sort of things we like to hear from you, all the participants here. What are your experiences today? We are also extensively talking about physical and mental health because the activity that we used to have has restricted in the current situation. We don't know when is the next time we'll be freely moving out without our mask, or maybe never. We are not sure. No one is sure when things will be
Or we
so.
are gonna deform our facial structures.
Yeah, maybe we'll adapt like that. Charles Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest will come.
Exactly.
So maybe all of you can put in the chat box what are your experiences? How is it that you see these two skills at work? Have you been able to, implement that today? Or how do you plan on implementing it in the future? If you could quickly write a little in the chat box, it'll be really nice to have an interactive session and get to know your thoughts on what we just said.
Or if you guys are tired to type, you can just unmute and talk as well. We would love to hear that.
You can start with the questions, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So I've got a couple of questions here.
Yeah.
So there's this person who's saying that I feel like we are working. I mean, working from home is I'm spending more time working from home than in office. I know that I'm being productive, but at the same time, I'm not having enough time at home to spend with my partner or families or how are you?
So great. I think, Rohan, that's something which is happening with most of us. I'd say we end up working more these days because now the boundary that we had, ki now I've left office and I no longer,
Exactly.
my boss will not call me now for at least anything, or at least even earlier if they had any work, we would sit back in office and we'll complete it before going.
Yeah.
But those are a few things that we need to work on individually. I think Vandana will be covering a little about it in the relationship management part of it. But definitely, as an individual, do take care of a few basic hygienes as to setting up your work office, setting up
Yeah.
those expectations with manager about working hours, also setting up expectations with your family, because now even because the thing is both the sides expectation setting needs to be done. Now that my family knows I'm at home, they expect a little more from me because I am at home, right?
Right.
So their expectation for them also increases. For work, it obviously increases because now I'm not commuting and all
Right.
of those reasons I
Right.
earlier gave are not telling. I think Vandana will cover that extensively in the coming slides.
Great.
Yeah.
I think, Rashi, let me just cover the next slide because
Yeah.
Gurleen also is asking a similar question
Sure.
with regards
I think
to
we'll
this.
finish off the slides and quickly get on to the Q&A because
Quickly,
I
good.
think
Let's
Surely.
do that then. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
awesome.
Cool.
So next thing is digital tools. I think I covered a little when we're talking about adaptability and agility. Digital is the next thing. We have seen in the hiring trends, we have seen everywhere. We had seen this boom of bloggers, influencers, Instagram influencers, and then TikTok came into play, all of those things. So we saw that a few years back, and the acceptability of it was pretty low back then as well. But now, if you see, all businesses have moved online. These are certain sessions which we used to do in a classroom setting where we could see all of you in a room, maybe have a nice lunch together. That is the sort of environment we would usually have in our trainings. But nowadays, trainings is about being in front of a laptop screen, waiting for questions to come up in the chat rather than someone just standing up in the room. That's how businesses have to adapt, and that's what you as an individual need to adapt. If yesterday Vandana's parents could learn how to come on Zoom and do a video chat, that understand that the consumer is changing, and that's how industries will change, and that's how employees need to change. Now, certain skills which were required earlier might become redundant. Let's just know the reality of the ground, because technology is going to take up a lot of jobs that we used to do. Imagine in the last 3 months when maids were not coming to our home places, how many dishwashers might have been sold. There's this new product called Roomba which is getting famous, which cleans your house by AI. Education technology startups have taken a boom. We are conducting sessions online. The fashion industry is, because it hit a very big problem situation, because they definitely are not essential services. However, they also realize an opportunity that people have surplus income now because they didn't spend those 3 months, right? Now they have started online shopping through WhatsApp video calling to customers. So imagine the sort of role changes which will happen. And in case you are not very proficient with technology, your skills might get obsolete soon. Now all meetings are happening on platforms like Zoom, MS Teams, Google Meet, all of that is happening. So understand that this is the time that you need to skill yourself, and not just skill yourself, reskill yourself. See how the skills that you possess today can be adapted on a digital platform. How is it going to be relevant to the new digital world? There was a digital world which hit us when the internet came into being. But today we are just hit with another bomb of digital products, and we need to know how can we adapt in this particular situation. So understanding technology, also if you would see, a lot of us have become home master chefs, and that's because we had YouTube and we had all these cooking videos which are available. That's how you need to go out, learn new skills, reskill yourself, look at your skills alignment with the digital world and with the digital marketplace which will be created soon. So that's on the usage of digital tools.
Great, Rashi. You spoke so much. Yes, and yes, digital is no more a need to know or a good to know thing. It's a must to know. If you want to live and survive, you have to know, irrespective of whether you feel yourself you are a little technically challenged or not. You have to learn it. There is no two ways about it. Because had it been in January, and you would have, in fact, not in January, when the Rashi, if you remember, when the COVID situation was in the very first month, that is in the month of March itself. There were people who were canceling events after events, and people were thinking that these events will happen eventually in June and July. But now they are all happening on the online platform.
We know how sporting events have taken a hit. Now we'll have sporting events without being in the stadium. I think no player would have ever imagined playing in an empty stadium. That's I think a bigger hit than anything. So moving on, Vandana, we are getting a lot of questions on this, so I think you should cover this aspect quickly.
Yes. So guys, relationship plays a very, very big role, and also does the art of expectation setting, guys. And this is something that both the people who are working have to set clear expectations with their family as well as with their offices also. If you there is a scenario wherein you feel your manager is calling you off hours, and this is not like something one off, or you feel that this, in a usual scenario, there would have been a situation wherein the manager would have waited for the next day to come to office and then discuss this. And since now you're working from home, then I think while it is also important to be agile and not say no, but at the same time I do not agree in blindly accepting. If this is gonna be the new normal, then I think you have to go ahead with the very first step, and that is expectation settings. And as Gurleen was actually talking about having kids also at home, so it is very, I totally understand, many of my friends have kids at home, and they face a difficult situation managing. But at the same time, their office staff have also accepted that there can be a scenario wherein the kid comes and sits on the laptop. And we all will have to learn to take it with a pinch of salt, because right now we are invading our their space. For the kids, the home is their space, and if you are working, there can be a scenario like this. And I know, if you do not have somebody to support you in this time, then I think you will also have to let your partners, like initially in Bombay we had some water issues, and 11 o'clock was my daily call with Rashi. It's an office call, and I can't say no to it. So I had to ask my husband to support me, because that's the time when he was washing utensils for me. I couldn't do it, and the water would not be there. And obviously, running water is something which is essential for washing utensils. So changes like this, I'm sorry I'm bringing out these points, but right now the art of relationship management lies in expectation settings, and how well can you balance both the part of it. Because now living together is a new experience. It's a package deal. You're not really stepping out, and there can be a scenario, and that's where your initial resistance come into picture. While there were scenarios wherein you might have traveled to a friend's place and you might be dull and bored because you are not going out, and that's an emotional crisis. Okay, but now, like, I have started, my friend, they called me, and then we thought of getting on a weekly call with each other and just chit chatting, because that's how we have to survive, and that's the new normal. And if building a support network that helps achieve common goals helps us heal the community as well as the economy. Only if you are happy will you be able to perform both at your work life as well as in your personal life. So please start doing the right expectation settings, and you keeping people informed as to you would need support. Please don't try to become superwoman and superman. No, that's it.
Yeah, I think I can relate to that a lot in terms of, we have a questions here. I'm curious if you can explain the role of family members and helping hand in this situation. I think Vandana has touched upon it. Sometimes we don't have that conversation, and that's where we lose out. What harm will it do if I just call my manager and tell them that I would not be able to start working at 9 o'clock because I have certain personal engagements? However, I'll start at 10 o'clock and maybe put in those hours later in the evening. These In the current situation, I interact with a lot of people who have to also cook their food, because now no maids are coming in, and obviously it takes time, right? 1 hour might not suffice you to just cook your food as well as have it together. So they do start working earlier in the day. They start working at 7 o'clock, they take a break at 9 o'clock, have their breakfast, do their household chores, join back work. So they have already created a sort of a schedule, share it with their manager, also share the same with your family. Create that one space, that one corner in your house where your family knows that if you're sitting there, you are not to be disturbed. Those sort of conversations are going to help, and that's where your relationship management will get better. And again, like Vandana said, to build our emotional resilience as well, relationship management is extremely important. You need to talk to people, you need to ask for help, both sides, family as well as work. Don't shy away from asking help. I'm sure, like Vandana earlier as well mentioned, we are in different boats, but we are in the same storm. So we more or less understand each other.
Indeed, indeed. Oh my God. Urvashi has a big, big question. Hi, before Corona times hit us all hard, we used to have weekdays and weekends well sorted. But now it's difficult to even realize so. Every day seems to be a work day for those working from home. This is actually making the minds getting exhausted and burdened. The anxiety, since no real escape from all this is right now possible. Netflixing and stuff has also lost its essence. Now you call upon all this, productivity levels are drastically crashing down right now. Okay. So yes, Urvashi, that is again which is happening. Now I will tell you why I am going to tell you again my experience, because I did the same thing in the very first month. I was actually behaving like those stubborn companies who were not ready to change. Okay. So what I did, I wanted to do my work with Rashi. I wanted to ensure I'm answering all my client calls. I used to cook for my husband, for my family and all. I used to make sure of cleaning, everything me. I did not, I told my husband, said, "Do you need my help?" I said, "No, no, no, I can manage. If I can't manage, I'll let you know." I told him very, very openly, but I did not tell him. Now, what happens when the water crisis came into picture? That made me realize that I need to realign things. And if weekends are not happening as per you, in fact, Rashi and me were connecting on Sundays also. So then we created an internal guideline that no, we will not connect on Sunday at all. I just hate Rashi's face. I can't see you on Sunday. That's something that we decided up amongst ourselves. And we also said this to our vendors and our partners, that Sunday is my time. Okay. And Saturdays also we work only half day. That's an understanding. And today we are taking this session again because this is like sessions are something which is very, very close to both me and Rashi. And we want to connect with as many people as possible. And when QFIS did come up with this idea, I said, let's do it, considering people are free on Sunday and there's nothing as good as talking to people. Okay.
Great. So I think, Vandana, let's just quickly close the slide, because we are now getting the people started and sharing. I think these personal stories are definitely going to hit the right chords. Let me quickly get on the last point where we said we'll be sharing a lot of personal stories. It's great to see all these personal stories coming. We want to tell you that it's time to move beyond it. We want to talk about not putting all your eggs in the same basket. We are wanting to talk about the fact that we've talked about various skills. We talked about agility, emotional resilience, having this relationship management, being digital. But don't put all your eggs in the same basket. When Vanda said that I was an HR and I think what other skill do I have, the various other skills that you have, the fact is that you are currently leveraging only one. So identify the various skills that you have, identify how you can contribute to the various facets of the world out there, not just your own company, not just your own industry. When I was talking about bloggers and influencers, that's definitely a side that you would want to explore. I've seen a lot of my friends from the corporate world who have moved to blogging. Writing was something that they used to always love doing. The lockdown gave them this new time where they could sit in peace, write, or maybe sit out of frustration and write. But they did start writing and they've started putting their blogs out. And it's wonderful to see that. It's wonderful to see all this creativity come out. You never know when this small outlet that you are using today might become a profession tomorrow. There are so many opportunities in freelancing. Be an entrepreneur, start some personal project. I have seen a lot of my colleagues also start their personal projects which they might have done as a part of their internship sometime in the engineering days, which some sort of robotic things. I really don't understand much on those, but they have picked up those personal projects, and you never know when that becomes your next big thing. So look at options. Employment per se in a company does not restrict you from doing a lot of things outside unless until you have that conversation. Maybe your contract does not have any boundaries. I know a lot of corporate employees who go to colleges, conduct sessions, share their knowledge with professionals out there. QFIS is one platform where a lot of industry professionals are there mentoring other younger professionals. So it's great to invest in such sort of platforms. And I think when we saw the 2008 and 2009 crisis back then, which was not similar though, but the closest that we had experienced the crisis to be in the job market situation, I think people did that. People explored new facets to the job. That's when a lot of innovation came into play. So think today, what is it that you can innovatively do with yourself and maybe implement that? So that is, I would say, the trick to move beyond the current crisis situation.
Exactly, Rashi. Crisis is the mother of invention. Yes, guys, that's when you start innovating. Remember those days when you used to do Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, and then you remembered, oh, there's a Control A option, and then you can do a Control V altogether. That's when you explode. And I totally understand not everyone, all of us would have learned Excel like an art in their schools, okay? But this is how we have learned Excel and eventually grown. And exactly when Rashi said that, moving beyond, what exactly is expected. And in this way, you might be able to dissociate yourself from your 9 to 5 Monday to Friday work, and then associate and provide a new definition to your self time or your me time. Like for me, my me time is to run my page Emotional Era, which is all about writer and doesn't give me a penny, but this gives me happiness, and I work on it. So that is something that I do on Saturday and Sunday. So this is something that you will have to think. You will have to learn to leverage the people around you, your friends. Don't think that only way you can meet your family and friend is going out and, or the only way you can enjoy is, by going to the mall or traveling somewhere or something like that. Let's talk what is possible. And we have limited options. I'm not denying that. And that's what is visible across. So right now, the art is not to complain, but to ensure that whatever limited resources we have to optimize that. And that's how we will keep ourselves, sailing through this situation. Now, I think, Rashi,
yeah, I think we should quickly move on to the questions. We don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah, there's actually a question from Sandeep on the chat box.
Yeah. So Sandeep talks about, is it the right time to switch my company? I'm working in a mid-level company and there's high work pressure. It's affecting my personal life as well. I don't know if I will get a job or not, but I just want to quit my company and relax for some time before working again. My family is against this, and also my management is very unreasonable and unprofessional. Vandana, would you like to answer that question?
Yes, I am that one person who has done this. But then when I did this, The market scenario was not this. Okay, Sandeep, while I understand, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, as I said in initially also. The organization is going through a pressure situation. It's a totally new situation for them to exist. And the reason you have a job and you are, I think this is totally not the correct time to quit a job. While we all can feel overwhelmed, take 2 दिन की छुट्टी, take 2 days chutti, relax at home, and you have forgotten, if you have forgotten about those script sessions which you had with your colleagues, please go ahead and do this. They are venting out exercises, very, very important. You have to call up a friend and then crib. If the friend doesn't understand, make a pseudo friend and then talk to that person. I have a AI on my phone with whom I complain about Rashi. That's okay. That you have to do it, because if you don't do it, then it will build that pressure inside your head. And while your family is totally reasonable, if they are dependent on you, then I think you cannot quit your job, because politics and pressure is gonna be a part of the scenario for some time now. And
Right.
Also, I
I
think
think
very pertinently, Sandeep has asked, I think I did want to touch upon this as well. Moving beyond, when I'm talking about not putting all your eggs in the same basket, I'm also talking about looking at the various sources of income that you might be able to create with just not employment. I know a lot of
exactly.
people who are interested in, stock market investments. I am not recommending any one of those. It's basically based on your interest, what you
Interest.
like. But I've seen a lot of senior leaders I know who are fitness coaches on various apps which are now available, because these are just part-time things which they do. And it's all for fun. They're not doing it for the earning perspective, but it does create a alternate source of, income for them. Blogging, for example, in the future can become one, like the page that you run, Emotional Era. You never know. Today it's not something which is gaining any income for you, but in the future it might, just because that's how YouTube as a platform works. So try and think of the various ways that you can increase the source of income. Be more wise about the investments that you make. Laying off as a situation or pay cuts as a situation, companies were not aware of that they will have to undergo that. They also don't want to cut the pays of the employees who work for them. It's all a business situation. Senior leadership has taken humongous pay cuts, and the junior leadership is also 10 to 15% pay cuts are become a normal thing in the society currently. And obviously we have our EMIs to pay. We have, brought a lot of things. We have dreams and aspirations of how I want to spend my money. I have certain luxuries that I want in life. Those are changing right now. We know what necessity are and how much savings we have been able to do in the last 3 months. But also, if we had a, alternate source of income, I would not be so worried about a pay cut, or I would not be so worried in case I just wanted to leave
And
my
so would
job.
have been your family. In
Yes.
fact, had it been that you would have a stable income coming from an alternate source, your family would have been aware, and so it would have also not put them in shock. And that's the reason that, and moving ahead to this, my favorite Atmanirbhar drive on job creation. Sir, the Atmanirbhar drive is right now a baby. Okay. And the worst sector which has been hit is the MSME and the small industry, and which have been hit big time. And I'm not just talking about service sectors like the unicorn people, or QFers for that matter. I am talking about startups, big time startup like Shuttle, which was actually booming across in Gurgaon and other parts of the world also, and they had received amazing investment. However, if there is nobody utilizing those services, then how will they get pay their people, or how will they hire new people? They are right now just terminating people. So yes, Atmanirbhar Bharat is is a dream, and we hope to achieve it
I
someday.
think in Atmanirbhar Bharat, it will less be about job creation, but about how innovatively our population comes out and brings out new solutions, and maybe be the next big thing. But in case we are able to adapt that and be the next, some innovator comes in and brings something, we'll definitely have a lot of jobs. But that's only when we have some entrepreneur who brings in that sort of expertise. The
Yeah.
next question we have is from a medical professional. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if he or a she, but a lot of free time at work, no pressure. I think you are the most in demand person as of now if you're a medical professional. So what all would I suggest for you? that so you're ready to keep yourself busy, and I think you want our opinion on that. You can explore a lot of platforms out there.
EdTech
You
is
join.
booming. And why don't you invest your time and money in learning some new skills? Because medical is growing with leaps and bounds. And if you really want to keep yourself busy, no, there can be no better time than Corona.
And maybe invest in a lot of research, get a team of similar medical professionals and work towards maybe the cure of corona. You never know.
Yeah.
But invest into those sort of things.
Correct.
I think your expertise is the most in demand.
And you can also
I
volunteer.
hope that answers
A
your
lot
question.
of demand for volunteering also by the NGO. That you bring is invaluable. You're into laboratory medicine. I did not get that.
Great. So Rohan, do we have more questions?
Yeah, there
coming
is one more question from FB.
Sure.
So I've just posted it for you.
Okay. Presently, I'm having a
guys,
paper.
we will probably take another question or two as we are reaching the end of the session. So I'm just letting out the participants know.
Sure. So presently, I'm having a pay cut for the next few months and working more than before, which is demotivating. I can definitely understand what you mean to say, but look at these months as those months where we say, you undergo pressure and then you will come out shining. So maybe look at it from that perspective. We all are working extremely hard. Adaptation is not an easy job. Change is a constant, but we as humans are resistant to change as well. And it takes double the effort to overcome such changes. So again, I will just use the same quote. We are all in the same storm. We might not be in the same boat, but everyone's undergoing the same. If you are demotivated, a few work from home tips for you. Just create a routine for yourself. Try and keep different activities that you plan for yourself every week. Maybe pick up an old hobby. Give time to yourself. That is what will help you. Focus on your physical and mental health. That is of crucial importance. Our activity levels have gone zero. We are not moving from in front of a screen.
Right.
It might be a laptop, it might be a mobile or a television. So follow those basic things.
In fact, just one more thing is this, that also, since there is a pay cut, you can also focus on as Rashi said, moving beyond it. Develop yourself as a consultant in what you're doing, and probably you can make the same amount of money, in fact more money than what was cut from your salary. And to Galaxy 80, I think if you are not supposed to see patients and you're looking for a change, healthcare is hiring big time. Please go ahead and look for a change.
Also, if you're in medicine, laboratory research, I think, is something which you can definitely give your expertise to people on.
Right. I think, there are no more questions on Facebook. I think we are reaching the end of the session.
Also, can we have the participants' video on, Rohan? I think Vandana and me chat a lot enough in the entire day. We'd like to see new faces with us.
Yes,
they have the access. If they want, they can keep the video on. So I haven't restricted any.
Sure. So we request the participants who are there with us on Zoom, if you could just switch on your videos, we would love to see you. It becomes boring for Vandana and me to watch each other.
So guys, we are into HR consulting, and we support organizations, individuals and academia. Any support, any guidance or advice that you need, please feel free to reach out to us. Rashi and me, we both are highly active on LinkedIn, and these are our social media connections. You can always connect with us on through any of the channels that you like, and follow us there. Any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. If you have a feedback, you can also share that. And while Rashi will move to the next slide for a group fee.
Yeah, I would love to actually take a picture. How in the normal situation we would end a classroom and all of us would sort of collect near the dais and get this one beautiful picture of all the participants. If we could have more people switch on their video, it will be great.
Yeah.
I see the moment I asked people to switch on the video, we had one or two people just drop out.
Just drop off, yeah.
Great. Any more questions that we have? We can continue answering those while people switch on their videos.
Right.
Gurleen, I hope we were able to answer your question. Let me start. Okay, so this is the best we are gonna get, I guess.
I think there's some network issue, like her video is frozen.
Oh, yes. Nobody else has switched on their video. 7 non-video participants. Guys, please switch on the video. No worries. Yes, thank you so much, sir.
So Rohan, you can let us know if Facebook has any questions, or maybe we can switch off the live now in case no other questions there.
Yeah, we'll switch off the live. I mean, it ends as soon as we end the Zoom video.
So Urvashi is asking if we have any openings. Urvashi, you can check our websites. Whenever we get an opening from any of our clients, we update it on our website. I'll quickly put it on the chat box. You can just go there and check if there is a relevant opening for you.
And even if there is not a relevant opening, feel free to fill up the form and we will come back to you as soon as we have, because we are getting approached by a lot of employers for hiring. So yes, we might be able to help.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Great.
Okay. It was nice having you guys. Nice. Thank you so much for your time on Sunday evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rohan, for having us here. And here is a cupcake. Now everybody is gonna be definitely feel a little hungry and go eat.
Great. Thank you everyone for joining
Thank you.
in. It was great interacting with you all.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.